To set up your edit for your chase film, make sure you have your file location open on your Chromebook. That has the All Footages folder open, so you're ready to drag all that footage into your WeVideo project. And in WeVideo, make sure that you log in. Use login with Google and your school email address. Now, you should see your previous projects. In this case, it's an elevator pitch video. But we want to create a new one, so click on Create a New Video. And after it gets set up, make sure you're in the timeline mode for editing, and make sure you're set up for landscape mode. Change the name from My Video to Chase. Now, before you bring in your footage, it's best to make sure you have a folder to add it all to so it doesn't get confusing with all the footage you had for previous projects. So use the Alt key on your Chromebook, hold that down, and then click in your library and choose the new folder option. I'm going to call this Chase Footage, and then click Create. Now, I can double click to open the chase footage, and then go back over to the folder with all my footage, select all of them, and then just drag them in to this new folder. It may take a while for WeVideo to upload all of the footage, especially depending upon how fast your internet connection is. Once all the footage has been imported, I can go ahead and start looking through for the first shot that I need. In this case, I have two characters. One's named Jim and one's named Terry. And notice that the character Jim is actually the first character that appears in the film. Now, I have a scene 1, take 1 of Jim, and I have a scene 1, take 2 of Jim. And I know that the second take is the one I want to use of this master shot. So I'm going to go ahead and drag scene 1, take 2 Jim and put it on track 1, video layer 1. I'm trying not to have the sound from the film actually distract as we play this. Let's see if I can just mute my speaker here. Maybe that'll help. All right, so here it is. The first shot, let me play it through, and we'll see what happens. We have the character Jim walk in. He puts a waffle in a toaster, and he turns over to get a plate. And then, as he's getting the plate, he looks back to get his waffle, and he notices somebody just left with his waffle, and he runs after them. So that's the action that's covered completely. So now we need to go ahead and give us some coverage of this. And first of all, there was a scene 1A of Jim, only one take, but this is a close-up of him coming in the scene. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this, and I'll play it in the preview window here. And as I get out, see, he's kind of moving back, getting in, and right about here he comes in. So let's go ahead and drag this shot down from the library, and I'll be able to just kind of click and drag at the beginning and see where he comes in. And he comes in right about there. And let's see how it plays from the wide shot. So I've got it on the second video track. And I bring this in, and he comes in. And actually, right about here is when I want to pick up that close-up. So I'll just drag it over. And let's see how that works. So it kind of drags over. So here we cut to the close-up as I kind of click and drag. And you can see I'm trying to match that action movement of him as he comes in and looks down. And now I can go ahead and just end that close-up right there as he kind of looks down. And now I've got another close-up I can use. And this is scene 1B, which is the hand actually putting the waffle in the toaster. So I'm going to pick it up, look right about there. Let's see if I can just drag it down to the same timeline and then just kind of slide it until I see where it is. So we'll go ahead and maybe start it. I'll back it up just a little bit. And I just want to carry it long enough until he puts it in and pulls down, and then the hand starts to leave. So let's see if I've got enough there. The hand starts to leave. All right. Now, unfortunately, I've taken a little bit more time here than what was in the master shot. So I'm just going to go ahead back to here where I go to the close-up, and I'll select that master shot. I'll use the scissors to cut it. Oops, I cut the wrong one, I think. Let's see if I can undo this. Oh, I didn't want to undo. I'll go to drag that ending of the hand leaving, and there he just starts to leave the scene. So I'll make sure I've got this selected this time, and I'm just going to move the time playhead to just where the close-up is and click the scissors to cut it. Now I'll select the second half and just kind of slide it over so I can see where it's at. So I'm looking to see him turning and leaving. So let's say it's right about there, and I kind of pick that up to where he just about turns and leaves. And now I can take that back, and let's see how this all plays from the beginning. So I start the scene, da-da-da. The character comes in. We see a close-up of him. He puts a waffle in there, starts the toaster, turns around, and he goes off to the side here. So I'm going to probably end this master shot right here, because now I need to get the next character to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if with this selected, I'm going to cut it again. And I'm just going to take this master shot and move it down a bit. Now I'm looking for the next master shot. So let's see if I can find it. Here is scene 1, take 2 of Terry. I had 2 takes of this too. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this down to, again, timeline 1, video track 1. And let's see if I can just kind of have him come in. And the thing is, we don't really see where Jim is at this point. But I'm just going to go ahead and bring him in. And so I'll start it like right about here. Notice I'm kind of dragging the beginning there. And again, he's going to kind of come in. We need to have his close-up, so I'll cut there. That's going to be the close-up of where his toaster is, so that in this case happens to be 1B Terry. And I'll drag that down. And let's see where it's going to start. So I want his hand to come in. So I'll start it just as his hands are kind of coming in. Let me see if I can put that down on the first track. And he takes that up. And I'll just go a little further. And shorten that to where just as he gets it up. Now I've got a close-up of him being devilish. Well, I don't know if he's being devilish, but here we go. Scene 1A Terry. So let me just move a couple of these things out of the way. Now I'll drag scene 1A Terry down here. And I'm going to see where it picks up. I want him to, yeah, so just as he's looking down, picking up that waffle, and then he turns his head and starts to leave. So I'm going to shorten that to where he turns his head and starts to leave. And now I can go back to Terry's wide shot. And he's turning his head. So let's see if I can get that. Where he turns his head. And then he leaves the scene. So we'll go ahead and let him exit. Go completely out there. Let's see if I can bring that back in. Yeah, he completely exits. I forgot to show you something down here. I can zoom in closer on my timeline, which might make it a little bit easier to see some of these edit points. So let's see what I've got so far. I have got Oh, I've got to bring all these shots of Terry closer. So I'm going to drag all of these. I clicked and dragged to highlight them all. Now I'm just going to butt them up against what I had for the character Jim. And let me go ahead and I guess I have to zoom this back out. Now I can't find anything. Okay, so here's my master shot now of Jim, but actually I want some more close-ups. So let's see, I'm going to go drag over here. Let me just play it through from the beginning. So here I am at the beginning. I'm just trying to get a sense of how it works. So I've got the wide shot coming in. I go to my close-up. We can see there's something there. We can see him going off to the side. We can see this other character coming in. He kind of looks over and he starts to leave. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to what I've got, which is a close-up of a plate. And so it's this one here for Jim. So let me just pull this out. Well, I guess I'll zoom this in a bit and make it a little bit easier on me. And now I can take this plate, and I'm looking for the part where it just, yeah, just about like that. So I've got, see, where is that plate? Okay, so he pulls it out, starts to take it out. So I'll do that. I'll go back to the wide shot here. Let's see if I can find the wide shot where, okay, he's just grabbed the plate. So I'll take it to there, and maybe here I want to make sure that the plate is moved from the scene a bit. Oh boy. It's hard to get this. I'm going to have to zoom this in a bit more so I can see what's going on here. I'll click on this plus key to make it come up a little bit more. Alright, so this is the shot I need. I'll get that right out of the way. Bring this in. And I'll just kind of play through it and see how it goes. All right, so right about here, I'm going to go ahead and choose a close-up. So I'm just going to cut this master shot again and slide it over. I'm going to go back to my close-up of Jim and see if I've got a better shot of him when he's reacting. So again, he just kind of turns back from the plate and he kind of wonders what's going on here. Alright, so I'm going to drag this one down. And now I can go back to here. And let's see if I can shorten this just a little bit. Alright, so let me just play this through. I've kind of done this a different ways, and whatever technique you find for kind of cutting through and mixing the shots up, but this is what coverage was all about. So now I've got two different characters. Let's watch through this entire scene. All right, so I don't know if it plays that well, but you can see that's kind of how it goes. So now the ones with coverage are probably the most difficult. So now let's take a look. So I've let him completely run out of the shot. Well, in fact, I might make some changes now. So we'll let him run out of the shot. But now I want to get into the actual chasing. So in order to do that, let me take a look at some of the chase scenes, because I probably want to actually see a little bit of the character Terry leaving before Jim realizes he's gone. So let me look at scene 2, and I've got a scene 2 Terry here. I'll just drag it down and play it here. So here I've got Terry leaving. So let's see if I start it right here. And then I want to take it to right after he's gone through the door. All right, so he's gone through the door, and then I also have a shot of him. No, actually, I think, yeah, I'm going to start it right here. So this is, so we've got Jim following him, so I'll put Terry there going through the door. Let me go to my scene 3, which is actually Terry running out the door now. So let's see if I can get that. And see how I've got the door kind of open part way there. And then let me just play it through and see where it's at the end. And I want him to run completely out of the shot. There, I guess it's as far as I can go with that. So let me go back to the one of him exiting. And you can see I've got, he's kind of going through the door. So I'll stop it there. And here he's kind of coming out the door. So let's play it and see how it looks. I'm trying to match the action for him going through the door. All right, so now I want to take those same 2 shots, the versions for Jim, and do that also. So I'll start with scene 2, Jim 1. I'll drag it down, and I'm going to start it with just before Jim comes into the shot. It looks like it starts right there. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. I'll play it through to just as he opens the door. And match that up. And now I can go to Jim's scene 3, drag it down. Again, he's already started to open the door. So I'm going to get him to come through this way and let him run all the way out. So let's see if I can do that from the end here. He runs all the way out. Okay, so I'll match that over. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my scene, where am I at? Scene 4, I think it is, for Terry, because remember, Terry's the one that's first. So I'm going to put 2 of these in. So let's see if I can go. Where is Terry in this one? So he's kind of running down a street. And I want to make sure he's gone. He's just out of the frame there. And now I'll look for scene 5 for Terry and put him down here. And I'll bring it into just where he comes into the scene. And then here at the end, I want to take it to just where he disappears. So now I need to go back and get scenes 4 and 5 for Jim. So I'll start with scene 4. Again, I want to start him just as he appears before, just before he appears in the shot. And then I'll let him just run out. And now I'm going to go for scene 5 for Jim. Let's see, where's that? Well, here it is here. And I've got him kind of coming in right here. And I've got him, let's see, where does he exit? Right about there. All right, so now the big finish. Let's take a look at the big finish here. Terry is first. So I've got a scene with Terry. And I can kind of drag it and just before he comes in. And then I can take it to where he's trying to get out. And he can't. So now I can go back to, what was I looking for? Scene 6 for Jim. So let's take a look at scene 6 for Jim. And again, I've got him just kind of entering the scene. And I'll move that over and I'll just click and drag the end and see where he can run in. So he's kind of running. I'll stop it right about there. Now I'm going to go back to actually the same scene. Oh, and I've got a close-up of Terry. So this is 6A, because remember I needed some coverage here for the last scene. So let me have it where Terry, we left Terry kind of stuck. And now he realizes Jim has caught up to him. So let's see what he does. He kind of looks and decides, I guess I should pass this over. So he goes like that. And now I've got a close-up of Jim to end it up, and I'll drag that over. And it starts with him. Yeah, so he basically takes it and then walks out of the frame. And actually, so that would show that there's no Jim there, Terry there, so maybe I'll just end it right there. And the one thing I'm not sure, it'd be nice to kind of maybe have a still frame here at the end. I'd have to look at WeVideo and see what it is. But let's take a look at this whole film from the beginning just to see how it might be. Remember, you're just concerned about cutting the actual picture together. You're not worried about sound. You just want to see how the picture cuts together. So let's take a quick look and see how this looks. Oh well, there you go. So you can decide how you want to cut your picture together. Remember, if your team has recorded coverage, a master shot, and close-ups for your first scene and last scene, and you might even have some coverage within some of the other scenes, that's going to give you a lot more flexibility in the way that the edit can turn out. Remember, once you're done with your edit, I'll talk to you about exporting it so that you can share it with the rest of your team once they're done with their own picture edits. Make sure you don't look at anybody else's edit until you've completed your own.